nicely. This segment, Tim, is all about the media basically telling the Democrats, you done goofed and you're doing a bad job pushing gun control. I can't make this up. Listen to this. Look at this headline. This is number 5. Despite latest wave of mass shootings, Senate Democrats struggle to bring attention to gun control. What?
No, they're just not selling it because nobody's buying it.
Exactly. There's no demand. But it's kind of weird for that to come out of CBS. And, when these things happen, Tim, and we talk about this all the time, there's always something else happening. Like, watch the other hand. Always. These people are zealots. They are not going anywhere. They're just changing tactics. So
Right.
if it looks like they're throwing water on something, that means they got fire going somewhere else.
Right.
100%. And if I show you a couple of these things, listen to what they're putting forward in this article, and then we'll correlate that with what Vice President Kamala Harris just announced today. And you'll be like, well, wouldn't you know? Look at that. And then we'll do a whole video on that in a second. So when I go here to, let's see, number 7, Dr. Button Pusher, nursing a narrow majority in a challenging election year. Tell me you're losing without telling me you're losing. Democrats in the Senate have made several attempts over the past month to inject some urgency into the gun control fight. It's all they've been talking about for like 8 months.
I know. That's all they ever talk about.
I know, but it's just funny to see the media go, well, they really put a good effort behind it, and they are nursing a narrow majority, and they really are trying to bring some urgency, and they never talk about it. All they do is talk about it.
Yeah,
right. It's just it's kind of like, I don't want to make an analogy. It'll be pickles and ding dongs before I know it. but it's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And then if you go to I just teased, you know what Kamala Harris put out today, right?
No, enlighten me.
So, I will. And it's so interesting how it will tie into this. She put out 2 new executive orders through the Gun Violence Prevention Office, of which she heads, which is going to encourage gun violence prevention offices in other states, and it's going to encourage safe storage and Ethan's Law, universal background checks, AWBs, and magazine bans. But it's something in there, and we'll cover this in another video, but they literally said they don't believe they have the emphasis on federal, so they're going to focus on states in the short term. Well, what do you know, Tim? Like 3 or 4 days before this article comes out. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it almost seems like it's coordinated. So wait, did you say that she's issuing executive orders? Surely that's not what you mean. She recommended
the White House is signing them. She's announcing them.
Okay.
Excuse me. You are correct.
That would be a step. Like, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and give the power of exexive orders to the vice president now. And then to the
we're
speaker.
Just going to go ahead and expedite this whole thing.
We're just going to hand it on down the line. Everybody can write their own EOs. I love that. So
exactly. So listen to this. So at the same time, again, I showed you the article. I showed you some of the things that are coming out. Told you what VP Harris is doing today. Listen, let's go back to the article. And this is number 10. Listen to some of the verbiage that they're saying, and then listen to John Fetterman. All right. The pessimism that pervades gun control legislation discussions, Freudian slip, discussions is unsurprising. The Congress is under divided control. Well, hold on a second, Tim. That's not what the gun controllers told us. Is it?
They don't lie.
No. Are you? Are you in?
Let's keep this on the high road, shall we?
Well, we're the digestion of the Second Amendment 2A analysis, though. We gotta get in there, get the nutrients out. We gotta squeeze it out for the people. But they wouldn't lie, though. They wouldn't have done over the past, 3 years, a unrelenting marketing campaign and gaslighting campaign to the American people through all of their medium, which, by the way, is going to come up again in G3 in a second, in order to convey that they're winning and they're more powerful than they actually are. Would they?
No, of course not.
They wouldn't. Mm-mm. They would never.
Nope.
After all, it's common sense. Gun control is right around the corner. They've got this, right?
I mean, matter of fact, they've even passed the most comprehensive gun control in 30 years. Hasn't done anything, but they're really proud of that.
Tim, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right, because it's the most comprehensive in 30 years, but at the same time, it doesn't do anything. They're words, and they need more.
Yeah,
it's so odd when you look at this.
When it doesn't work, naturally, you just keep repeating the same process. Because eventually it's going to come out the way you want it to, right? I mean,
yes, absolutely. And speaking of brilliance, as you have just illustrated, per usual, by the way, your wisdom and age is showing. I love it. Listen to this, because the paragon of wisdom in the Senate, John Fetterman, had some interesting words. This is number 11. Tell me you're losing without telling me you're losing. Senator John Fetterman, a Pennsylvania Democrat, told CBS News, quote, "It's a very complex and divided situation. It just hasn't been the priority." Again, I'm very confused, because that's all they've been talking about. But
I know
this is I think this is a key point, Tim. When a Democrat talking about gun control says, "Well, it's a very complex and it's a divided situation," that means no one's listening to you.
Right. I mean, it just hasn't been priority. It's not like they had a unanimous consent vote or anything around gun control. There's just no priority here. We're just not even we're not even talking about it. Anybody talking about it? Anybody heard? Hey, over there, you talking about gun control this week? No, nobody had. Yeah, it's not been a priority. It's just kind of a divided issue. We're not doing anything over here.
No, it's a tall ask. It is a tall ask. It's not like they have an entire infrastructure that does nothing but pour out gun control propaganda, gaslighting. No,
right. It's not like they invented their own little new group. This group that Harris heads, that is supposed to save the world from this communicable disease known as violence. It's not like they started that up either. I mean, there's just no priority to this at all. None.
Nope. Nothing. There's no energy here.
That's why we haven't failed. We just haven't even tackled it yet.
That, Tim, again, you nailed it to the wall. Man, you are on it today. I love when you come sharp and ready. You have your oatmeal and your bananas. I love it.